Purdue won the toss and chose to defer. And so Rutgers will get the football first. Seth Turner will kick it away. Ben Black will fair catch it. And Antoine Raymond will get the first touch of the day. And he gets stopped off by the Purdue defense. Kaliak-Manis wants to throw, and he does get it out to D.T. Sheffield, who's erased quickly. Purdue defense that spent so much time on the field in the first half against Northwestern last week, trying to force a 3-and-out to start the game. Pressure's picked up the middle, and Kaliak-Manis can't find Ben Black, and Rutgers will punt. Play clock is down to 2, and Anderson is going to sidewind this all the way down inside the 25-yard line, where it takes a good Rutgers bounce.
Now, he hurt teams scrambling. How much does he do that based on the injury?
Devin Maccabee gets the first touch of the day for Purdue, and a good gain on first down.
And offensively, they want to go tempo. They do it right here.
Maccabee gets tripped up by the second man there, Jet Elad. Here on third down, he is very good in the run game, and he's using every bit of those 235 pounds. So because it's 4th and short, Singleton staying out and giving it to Maccabee, and he'll pick this one up easily. But isn't it funny, too, how little drama there is now? A 4th down attempt from your own 33 to start the game, and it's just, it's you know, it's so much more normal. But to your point, it is in line with the way that he is planning to play the game. Malachi Thomas has a block outside. Only one man can get him, and he will not. Thomas goes all the way. No, he stepped out. He stepped out at the 5-yard line. What a run. A 60-yard sprint for Malachi Thomas. Held out of the end zone offensively. Held off the scoreboard last week against Northwestern. Ryan Brown back in, troubled, and just throws it away. Malachi Thomas remains in the game or comes back into the game after that 60-yard run. And he's going to catch it out in the flat and score the touchdown for Purdue. His first of the year.
Leads to 6, which leads to 7.
Energy is translated. The first touchdown for Purdue in a while. And Antoine Raymond will get it again, and Antoine Raymond gets yanked down.
Create a little havoc in the backfield.
Kaliak-Manis to throw with time. And there's KJ Duff, and he's got a big play into Purdue territory, still going all the way down inside the 40. Raymond, and he gets ripped down again. Second time he's been tackled. And of course it's Manny Paluin. Kaliak-Manis gets it out quick to Ben Black, and Ben Black continues into space, and he's down inside the red zone. Now Kaliak-Manis will give it to Raymond. We saw Purdue use tempo on their scoring drive, and Raymond's able to get a pickup of 4. And they're both going to line up left, and Raymond tries to bounce it out, and Manny Powell is all over it for a loss of 1. Kaliak-Manis tracked down by Powell, and now it's 4th down. KJ Duff at the bottom is 6'6". Kaliak-Manis throws it in, and it's batted away. He had a man wide open in the end zone, and Hershey McLaurin erased a touchdown. Of course, what he did at UNLV got everybody's attention. It was historic. And, you know, he was asked this week by the media, have you ever been in this position before? And he started, he had a list. It was a long list. Here's Maccabee after taking over on downs with a strong run. Second down and short. And there's Jackson's first catch of the day and a first down across the 20.
Well, everybody's standing up on the sideline. You can kind of see it at the bottom of the screen there. I mean, that's what the impressive part is to Rhett's point. Everyone engaged in the game.
Ryan Brown, long throw coming back to it. Nitro Tuggle with a nice catch on the sideline. Here's Maccabee again on second and short. Burns through a big hole and a first down, and still on his feet all the way out to midfield. Quickly out to Jackson, and he gets cut down by Cam Miller. Mockabee again. Mockabee with some space, and he'll get a couple back +3, and it's 3rd down and long. 3rd down here. Brown had his check down, tells him go down the sideline. He does, and there is Malachi Thomas again, still fighting, and he's out inside the 10. Here is Chris Coit.
Holding defense, the penalties decline. It's 1st down.
And a heads-up play from Brown, trying to make a big play that they eventually convert.
Malachi Thomas remains in the game and gets pulled down after a short game. Now Singleton looking for the pylon, puts his shoulder down, and he's down to the 1-yard line. Mockabee is stuffed and pushed back, lost a half a yard, and it's 4th down. Rutgers not taking the field goal on their possession, 4th down, and Rutgers doesn't score, and Purdue does take the points. You mentioned it, we saw KJ Duff on the big play. DT Sheffield, they have 3 receivers on the Bolitnikoff Award watch list. They're the only, they're one of 3 programs that have 3 pass catchers on that list. So we still have 2 other very good receivers. And Nathan Kaliak-Manis throws to the tight end Kenny Fletcher, who's brought down right away. 2nd big tackle so far today for Smiley Bradford.
It looks like you're a little bit more involved today in the defensive operation. How are you seeing that influence of change, especially with that goal line stand there at the end?
I'm just trying to help. And our guys are playing hard. They had some nice things they've done, and we got to be a little sharper. But our guys are playing hard.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
2nd down here for Rutgers to start the quarter, and Jayshon Benjamin with a 1st down run and fighting his way across the 40-yard line. Kaliak-Manis, quick throw to Colin Weber, the tight end, and he pushes forward across midfield. It's a big game. Nebraska has gotten so much better in close games. Northwestern's played a ton of them. Northwestern, you saw them last week in person, Yogi. They've won 4 in a row. Here's Benjamin again with a 1st down run.
Rutgers running the football, having the most success they've had thus far early on in this drive. Expect that in this one. Expect it to come down to a few plays late based on the competitive tempo we've seen.
Purdue brings extra, and Jayshon Benjamin beats it anyway. Good blocking up front from Rutgers for a strong 1st down run. Pick of a 6. Back to Benjamin. Benjamin, big haul. Benjamin 1st down and a strong run. And he's getting a healthy diet here.
Doing a nice job making kicks.
Kaliak-Manis gets sacked by Hershey McLaurin. Already saved a touchdown with a PBU, and now he gets the sack. Here comes Antoine Raymond now back into the game.
But watch the picture change late. Watch the safeties.
Kaliak-Manis dancing in the pocket, pressured and brought down again. Jamarian Harkless, 13 yards of sack loss on this possession here. And Benjamin's going to get it down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. And that is within Jay Patel's field goal range. And here comes the Rutgers kick team looking for points. Patel tied a career long last week when he made a 51-yarder at home. This is out of the hold of Riley McCann. Michael O'Connor, the snapper. This has plenty of leg, but is wide to the left. Purdue has improved from last season, scoring 7 more points per game on offense. They get more than 100 more yards per game, or just about that. Devin Mockabee and the offense take over after the missed field goal from Rutgers.
He referenced Red involved in the defense, doing his best to help out.
Ryan Brown did a nice job to find the window, but couldn't connect with Corey Smith. 3rd down and long. Brown pressured, escapes, and does not go down. He was fighting with Cam Miller. I know you almost wince a little bit given the injury he suffered last week on a hit, but he did not shy away from contact, and it's now 4th down. Jack McAllister on to punt. Rutgers did not force a punt last week, His special teams such a strength for them. DT Sheffield sent back, and he catches it. Good punt from McAllister. So after the punt, Ethan Kaliak-Manis got sacked twice on the last possession and nearly gets sacked here. Pressure! Ball comes out, and Rutgers recovers it, but they are getting after Ethan Kaliak-Manis right now. C.J. Nunnally with a huge hit and the sack. The Rutgers defense has played well, but they need the offense to get things going here. Kaliak-Manis with a lot of space, and he dives down to the 20-yard line, but that is not nearly enough to pick up the first. Jacob Anderson on the punt. He stretches it out, and that helps his coverage team get down to Michael Jackson, who muffed it, but a flag comes in. A flag comes in. Could we have kick-catch interference here? For the moment, Purdue recovers it. Rutgers recovers it. But we'll see if Jackson was interfered with. Chris Coit and his crew sorting it out.
Well, it felt as though Jackson didn't evaluate where the ball was going to drop first, and he's usually stellar in that regard. I don't know if the ball just kind of died on him. Calls for the fair catch.
With the opportunity to catch a kick, kicking team number 7. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It's 1st and 10. Timeout on the field.
So Purdue keeps the football. Purdue, after the opportunity to take advantage, tries to take a deep shot but can't connect to E.J. Horton.
And I'll tell you what, that play and that call by the officials, it could be a huge call in this game. Let's remember, Purdue, they've been moving the ball.
Talk about the penalty on the kick-catch interference that Mike Pereira didn't think was.
It should have been Rutgers football.
Yep.
And now here Purdue has the ball. Remember, they get the ball coming out of the half as well.
Malachi Thomas, who's had a good game so far, gets about 3.
I think now you're in 4-down territory here. So
we are seeing a lot of Malachi Thomas, who's beside Brown. Trying to set up that screen, perhaps, and the ball does get to Thomas. And Thomas somehow gets brought down for a loss of 1. The fact that that play even got near the line of scrimmage, considering how it started, is a blessing for Purdue. Jack McAllister on. And he puts it way up in the air for DT Sheffield, who's going to fair catch it. The Rutgers defense doing his job today. Ethan Kaliak-Manis has been sacked 3 times on the last 2 Rutgers possessions. He's going to give it off to Antoine Raymond here. And Raymond spins forward for a good 5-yard gain to start this drive. Back to Raymond. Good hole for Raymond, and he gets cut down just shy of the line to gain. It's going to be 3rd and maybe a half a yard coming up. A sneak. And this is going to be very close. It was 4th, and you can see even less than a yard. It looks like it's being marked shy of the 25-yard line. 4th down. Kaliak-Manis with the push. Oh.
Good luck.
It looks like on the near side he's short. On the far side, maybe he's got it. 1st down. You can see the indication. Purdue has challenged the ruling on the field of a 1st down on the 4th and inches push from Rutgers offense. Ruled a 1st down at the 25-yard line, and Barry Odom doesn't think so.
And I think that's the right call for Barry Odom. You look at where the ball is on the field. They'd have the ball in the 30 going in. Critical moment in the game, and again, they get it after half. The challenge is like How do you tell?
Well, here's the good news. We know he's got to get to the 25. I mean, that's...
Well, you see his helmet. And
I see his half his body.
Yeah.
Upheld, it's first down. Purdue is charged its first time out and may not challenge for the remainder of the game.
Deepest minus territory going forward on 4th down. What does it tell you that Greg Schiano went for it there?
It tells me they want to continue to be aggressive in this game. They've done it in the play calling, and they're staying with the run game. And I think a huge part of Rutgers offensively, they're known for their trio of wide receivers. We're not seeing Ian Strong today, but the DNA of Greg Schiano in his entire coaching life is win the line of scrimmage. And can you run the football? And if you can keep getting 3, 4, 5-yard gains, it's going to open up elements in the quarterback run game and in the throw game down the field.
Antoine Raymond pushing and pushing and pushing and refusing. Finally goes down. No gain. 3rd and 1. Raymond. And he picks up the first. 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. And the 8th play of this drive coming up for Rutgers. And it's the first throw of the drive. And going up to get it is KJ Duff.
There is no rush. They have more than enough time. They do not want to give it back to Purdue.
Pressure picked up. DT Sheffield. And he slips down, but he's got a first down. Inside the 35, pickup of 11. Back-to-back first downs through the air for Rutgers. Kaliak-Manis to throw again, and this is Ben Black, who's getting a bigger opportunity today with the injury to Ian Strong.
Ryan Felter, the left guard, picked up that blitz, just stonewalled Purdue, giving a clean pocket to Kaliak-Manis.
This drive began at Rutgers' own 15-yard line. This is the 11th play. Kaliak-Manis behind Weber, incomplete. Clock stops at 52. Now, Yogi, Rutgers has had an 8-play drive today and a 10-play drive. Come away with no points to this point. And this is where it starts to get a little loud, too.
Yeah, and this, to me, is not 4-down territory.
They're 1 and 6 on 3rd down today. Antoine Raymond feeling his way, and he gets pushed back. Manny Powell is having himself another big game.
And this looks like the perfect play call. It looks perfect. It's like, oh, here comes the first down. And that man, Manny Powell, trying to get to 20 tackles again. Watch number 16 as the play unfolds. He reads it the whole time, and then, boom, he's untouched. What a play by the captain, the senior, the glue of this defense.
Rutgers takes a timeout. Jake Patel, the kicker for Rutgers, missed a 46-yard field goal earlier in this game. Manny Powell, our hardest working player, brought to you by Harbor Freight. That's an easy pick considering the 20 tackles he had last week.
And also what he did this week, right? You see all this energy from him. Their sidelines going crazy.
Pressure, and they beat it. Ben Black picks it up. Guts for Rutgers, and they convert. They've got a timeout. Clock stops for a moment while they reset the chains.
Guts, yes. Trust also. That's Kaliak-Manis trusting himself, trusting the read.
Now he flips it out to Colin Weber, who slips down. Did he get out of bounds? Yes, he did. Whoa. That was set up perfectly to get yards and stop the clock, and it nearly didn't work. Good job by Weber to stay up.
Down inside the 10. That is the play where Rutgers has had so much success this season. Fake the zone read and then give Ethan Kaliak-Manis a two-way go. Keep it with his legs, find it to an outlet.
So how are you calling plays here with one timeout? You can also stop the clock with a first down.
Yeah, you're not running the ball right now. You are throwing the football, and again, it's man-to-man isolated coverage, top of the screen. That's your top wide receiver, KJ Duff.
Play clock low and flags. And we mentioned you can feel the noise down here now, Yogi.
Snap, false start, offense number 65. 5-yard penalty, second down.
What's he trying to do defensively?
Kaliakmanis pressured, and he decides to just throw it away. Right in his face was Jamarian Harkless, who already has a sack today.
There's trying to see if KJ Duff can catch one coming out the back door. He's in the slot at the bottom of the screen. Excuse me, Sheffield at the slot at the bottom of the screen.
They go to the ground. Raymond cuts it up. Raymond gets all the way down to the 1, and the clock will stop for the first down. What a call.
What an adjustment. That's Ethan Kaliakmanis seeing a light box, and now here they go, Temple.
Back to Raymond. Raymond puts his head down, and he breaks in. Touchdown, Rutgers. Chop and chop and chop and chop, and finally they score, and they're right in this game. 17-play drive for Rutgers, 5.5 minutes. They ran it on the first 8 plays of the drive. A big conversion on 4th down from Ben Black, who's playing in place of Ian Strong, overcoming the penalty as well in the red zone. The pooch for Purdue. Returning it is Christian Moore. And for more on Antoine Raymond, let's go down to Rhett.
Yeah, guys, talk to now Bears rookie running back Kyle Monangai, Rutgers legend in the run game, and asked them about Antoine Raymond. And they were actually used to be hotel roommates the night before a game. Said they talk all the time about what's necessary to succeed in this program. Kyle said he used to tell Antoine, you have the ability to be really special. You should be better than me if you continue putting in that kind of work. Said it was kind of like a game of telephone. Schiano would communicate with Monangai, and then Monangai would bring it back to Raymond. Kind of full circle here for that Rutgers running back room. No doubt a lasting legacy left by Monangai.
That's so cool, and he has had such a good year and a big half when they needed it. Purdue started with the momentum. Rutgers racing to the locker room with some of their own. And this game is exactly what everybody said it would be when you get these two together. Both teams desperate for a win and playing like it. Michael Jackson back deep, and he'll let this fly into the end zone. So,
yeah, look, he understands how to be a true CEO, as does Barry Odom. They're so experienced, to your point, as we kicked off this second half guy.
Maccabee with a big run to start the half, and he gets all the way across midfield. 42 on that run, and back to tempo and back to the ground for a couple. Started today. We saw some Malachi Singleton in the first half as well, as is usual. Good carry here for Antonio Harris. He nearly breaks away. Still on his feet and finally knocked out at the 3-yard line. First down and goal for Purdue. Singleton's going to throw it. Nobody there. Devin Maccabee with the touchdown. Sometimes being alone isn't lonely. The Shark responded to, I think, a couple good kick attempts from 30 and 40 yards out, but didn't make a kick, by the way. So can Rutgers answer? They had a huge, long drive before the half. Now they're going to try and get it all at once with a deep shot to DT Sheffield, and it goes through him. Coming to the locker room with it ready. You have it. Kaliakmanis pressured, gets out and spins into a sandwich. You can see there on the screen, 2 of 8 today on 3rd down. This time he has time. Pumps and then gets sacked. Trey Smith, the latest to get in the backfield. And Jacob Anderson to punt. Way up. Now Michael Jackson will fair catch it.
You wake up and you pour everything you got into the program. And at the end of the day, you know that you did every single thing you could to move the program forward. And if you did that, you're making progress. And we've come a long way since January, and we got a long ways to go. I'm not confusing that message.
Barry Odom, who made it very clear what he expected out of his team today. There's Devin Mockabee to start this drive with another big play, this time on the catch. Ball goes out of bounds. But Barry Odom, and he said Monday we had our best practice of the week. He thought his team responded. Today, a long way to go in this game, but it's clear that they have responded to the message.
Well, look, the mantra is they want to be hard, smart, and tough. And he said they weren't that in the last time out against Northwestern. So much so he took down all the signage in the facility outside of the massive one that's painted on the wall in the weight room. Right. So you got to earn it. And that's what this team has done.
Brown taking a shot down the field, and he just overshoots Nitro Tuggle. Here's Malachi Singleton getting the carry, and he gets upended to midfield. I mean, that's, you mentioned a few times, Yogi, 235 pounds. Malachi Singleton, you're tackling there. The number 2 quarterback who's off the field. Ryan Brown back in, pressure picked up, and that throw goes sailing past Michael Jackson. They're still trying to get their number 1 target involved in the pass game. He's got 2 catches today for 7 yards. And Mockabee had a nice blitz pickup there, goes off.
Sure did. I mean, this is an aggressive game. I mean, both teams, to your earlier point, are leaving it on the grass, whether it's blitz, coverage, going for it. We'll see if Rutgers decides to go for it here. They're so good historically.
That one just got away from McAllister, and DT Sheffield will take it at the 9-yard line. And back to the ground they go for Antoine Raymond, who gets a yard, and it's 2nd down. Caliac-Manis keeps and gets it out to Kenny Fletcher, the tight end, who's able to break the first tackle and gets brought down by Hershey McLaurin. And it's 3rd and short for Rutgers. Raymond, McLaurin in there, and Raymond's able to push his way for the first. Here is Antoine Raymond again, young man from Montreal. I mean, you think about, and Rhett mentioned it, he's from Montreal. He decides to get a big-time college football. I want to play big-time college football. I got to go to the States to play. So he goes to Clearwater, Florida as a junior. Thinks I'm going to get 2 years of high school, and then we'll see where I'm ready to go. Well, his senior year of high school gets canceled. So he reclassifies and rolls early. Shows up last year at Rutgers as a college freshman when he should have been a high school senior. And he told us last year was so hard between school and moving and football. It took me until the last game of the year to finally feel like I get this. And the light bulb went on. And I don't think you would have known it watching him play last year. But the light bulb's definitely on now. Here's a deep shot to KJ Duff, who's wide open, and Rutgers answers. A 72-yard touchdown strike. Wow, 3-point game.
Longest touchdown pass of Ethan Caliac-Manis' career and longest of Duff's career as well.
I know we said it in the first half as Ryan Brown takes over for Purdue, but Devin Mockabee gets swallowed up by Jabril Abdur-Rahman. But for both of these teams, Rutgers has, we know what Rutgers is, chop. For Purdue, they preached not that word, but the same kind of sentiment all week. And I would say, particularly for Rutgers today, it has been a personification of that.
Well, think about what both teams went through a week ago, and for Rutgers, you were their guy. I mean, giving up 750 yards of offense, it was a struggle for them, and they were able to flush it. Same deal for this Purdue offense.
Brown, he's going to tuck it away, and sprint, reaches out very close.
I love that. Just the awareness.
The first down.
Yeah, the awareness of Ryan Brown there is just on display. You know, before he got hurt a week ago, every coach, every defensive coordinator you talked to in this league was like, the scrambling ability is what we have to protect against. He looked like himself there, the old pre-injured Ryan Brown, and just speaks to Barry Odom saying he's good. He's our starting quarterback.
Mockabee. And he's met by Abram Wright, who we had fun talking to this week. Abram Wright, you know, like so many guys on this Rutgers defense, particularly now, been asked to step up in place of an injured teammate, taking over for Moses Walker, he was rotating with early, along with DJ Jabome. And he's become a starter at linebacker just recently and making the most of his opportunity. They really think like he's got a future.
Yeah, he's elevated. And really, this team's had to. 14 players on their expected their two deep depth chart are injured, either out for the season, out for this game. And so many players have had to elevate, Abe Wright being one of those.
Second down for Brown to set up the screen to Antonio Harris, who's through a hole and across midfield. Ryan Brown looking to the sideline. Play clock is at 2. Harris runs into his own teammate, Jesse Watson there, still picked up 5. Brown loads up, end zone, and just over the reach of Armand Branch. Now it's third down.
You got to find a way to see if Michael Jackson get involved, right? Hasn't done much today in the pass game, only 2 grabs for 7 yards.
Brown gets it out quick, and that ball was broken up. Was it broken up on offense or defense? Jordan Walker was right there for a collision.
I wonder what they're going to do here, because
who was trying to catch that ball?
Rico Walker was in man-to-man coverage against, to your point,
Jordan Walker.
Jordan Walker against Rico Walker, and they're just kind of magnets. They're clamped to one another. I don't know if they're going to call offensive pass interference or defense, because the ball's in the air and there is contact.
Pass interference, offense number 17.
There you go.
The penalties decline. It's fourth down.
So Purdue with a couple of explosives. Now McAllister punting, and a great punt. Did the ball break the plane is the question. It doesn't look like it. And it gets touchdown at the... It is a touchback. It is a touchback. The ball broke the plane. That's the signal. Jayshon Benjamin has come into the game. Kaliak-Manis pressured and can't get it away. He gets swarmed. Manny Powell again. Charles Correa were all around them, the 2 linebackers. Season high 5 sacks for Purdue today. Kaliak-Manis gets that out to Antoine Raymond. He gets away from Correa, and then the pursuit gets him. Kaliak-Manis, Antoine Raymond, and he is able to get the first down. Kaliak-Manis with plenty of time to do what he loves to do.
And this is what he does. It's audible, and seeing these 2 safeties, how are they going to rotate?
And now whistles.
Clock will start on my signal. The game clock will start on my signal, please.
Antoine Raymond is going to carry it here on first down. Antoine Raymond swims his way for a first down and gets out to midfield.
Such a physical back. And I think these 2 teams we're watching today, they've had such physical games. Every conference team they have played is 5-2 or better entering today. So to the point of like the college football playoff, so many teams are alive. It's so fun to watch. And so many games this season have been 1-score games. I think a big part of that, guy, is the elevation of the quarterback position. I think often we talk about parity in college football. I look at the elite play, and every week in this league, it's been so fun. You just turn on the 4th quarter and say, okay, which way could this one go? And we might have that in this one as we tick down and enter the 4th quarter.
Trust us, there are some stadium clock issues, but the officials are keeping the clock on the field, and the 3rd quarter just hit 0. So 1 quarter to play here in West Lafayette in a 3-point game between Purdue and Rutgers. With Rutgers on offense at midfield. And Ethan Kaliak-Manis cutting it loose towards the sideline for a jump ball that's knocked away by Hadori Hines, tied up in a battle with KJ Duff. Purdue's led the whole way today. Rutgers once trailed 10-0. Here's Antoine Raymond fighting for 3 hard yards. Antoine Raymond with the carry. Antoine Raymond very close to the conversion. Ball came out. Purdue came away with it. The ball then comes out at the end of the play again, but it was whistled down on the fumble recover, the first fumble recover. There you see Rutgers with it, but Purdue recovered the fumble. That play sounded like it was whistled.
Recovered by the defense. It's first down Purdue.
First turnover of the day. Now Ryan Brown to the air and connects for a first down for Purdue. It's E.J. Horton who made the catch.
This Rutgers defense, they love being an aggressive outfit as well. Press man coverage. They have gotten some penetration from their edges on this defensive line. They've got to continue to close the pocket.
Brown back to Maccabee, and Jordan Walker brings him down for a short game.
But both of these backs got to keep falling forward. Devin Maccabee, what a career, closing in on 3,000 yards in his career here. This is a guy that could have left, decided to come back. He's a culture setter, and another guy who's got a huge part in this culture is in now in Malachi Singleton.
Trying to become the 4th Boilermaker ever to 3,000. Nobody reps Purdue better.
Nobody.
That's a quote from Drew Brees,
Yep.
not from you or from me or anybody else. Second down for Singleton, who's come into the game. Sets up the throwback and decides to throw it away. Ryan Brown sets up the screen, and now they're trying to get Michael Jackson involved. That's just his 3rd catch today. And after the turn of possession, Rutgers defense stands up. Eric O'Neal slow to rise, but it's 4th down. DT Sheffield back deep.
Many teams that are 5-2 in this league. That is a huge contest.
Rutgers takes over after the punt. Defense does its job after the forced turnover. Been a total offense machine. Meanwhile here, second down for Ethan Kaliak-Manis, wants to throw, and does. And he's got Duff again. Jump ball, and Duff wins the battle. I mean, you just see it. It's 6'6", 225. Already has a 72-yard touchdown reception today as Raymond gets bottled up. Kirk Shiraka, the offensive coordinator, gives so much credit to those receiver coaches. He said that our pitch to receivers is you're going to come play for pro coaches, guys who have coached big-time pros. Antoine Raymond, a flag comes down.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be a hold inside on Taj White, the offensive line.
Offense number 54. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Second down and 18 after the penalty. Kaliak-Manis, he wants Duff again, and Duff does it again!
You want to play press coverage, that's one thing, but you've got to win at the line of scrimmage. Hines does not do that, and give credit to Kirk Shiraka saying we want to match him up against number 4. Look at the line of scrimmage, look at the release, look at those hands. That is a la Larry Fitz, shall we, at the line of scrimmage, or Julio at the line of scrimmage. To your earlier point, the patience, the awareness, big time.
Jayshon Benjamin in the game, as you saw KJ Duff there, over 200 yards of offense, of receiving today. And Benjamin is spinning his way down for 9 yards.
Game stepping up for the injured and missing Ian Strong.
Kaliak-Manis gives it off. Benjamin spinning his way, feeling his way, pushing his way, and he is down at the 1-yard line. He's down at the 1-yard line. That was a heck of a run.
That was a heck of a run, and he was almost getting escorted into the end zone.
I thought he did.
By his center and left tackle, Tyler Needham. Let's see if the knee goes down. The official had a great look at it.
And, you know, Rutgers just took a timeout. Greg Schiano came running down the sideline. Rutgers has hit some big explosive plays. This is the opposite of that. This is the dirty work. And Ethan Kaliak-Manis gets in, and Rutgers leads for the first time today. The mantra, the thing that runs through it all for Rutgers, chop. And this has been a battle today against a Purdue team that's brought the energy, but right now Rutgers has the lead. Rutgers coming off a 56-10 loss last week to Oregon. Purdue coming off a 19-0 shutout at the hands of Northwestern. And Michael Jackson trying to make a play for Purdue into space, and he finally gets tracked down, but not before he hits a huge one.
Well, we got a thriller, it looks like, here.
Brown on the move, tough throw, and it's dropped. Ryan Brown in this offense trying to respond. They had a first down making catch opportunity there. They'll give it to Maccabee instead, and Maccabee fights his way before he's finally brought down. Only converted 1 third down today. Maccabee, big hole, cuts it back and gets tripped up. This is very close, but it's shy, and it's 4th down and a yard. And Greg Schiano takes a timeout. He takes it, and he is very close. Well, Rutgers thinks they got the stop. Greg Schiano is on the field, fist pumping, and it's a first down. And both offenses have had to do it. Maccabee can't get away. What a tackle from Taj Sanders. And Maccabee pops up.
You know, Purdue's been so close on some of these interior inside runs where they're pulling somebody in the offensive line and breaking one. They haven't, to your point. Really nice job there tackling. And you got to start thinking clock here, I think, on both sides. About to be under the 5-minute mark.
Maccabee goes off with a little bit of a limp there. You can see he's almost run for 100 yards today. 12 yards shy of 3,000 for his career. Brown with time, tough throw to the sideline, and it's now 3rd down. Brown. And flags come flying in. And now another flag comes in.
Yeah, that's an easy PI and a really nice job from.
And another one.
Really nice job by Brown. I mean, this Rutgers defense, they were all over the place defensively from an alignment standpoint. Looked like they weren't on the same page. And he said, I have so many bodies near the line of scrimmage, I'm going to go outside, throw the ball to Tuggle in man-to-man coverage. It looked like it was a PI there and maybe a couple other penalties.
There are 2 fouls by the defense, illegal substitution, 12 players. That penalty's declined. Pass interference, number 0, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Brown lost it. Nobody there except Nitro Tuggle, and Purdue is back in front. Two teams that came in looking for their first Big Ten win of the season, and you expected it to be like this. Both coaches hoped their teams would react the way that they have today. And so now Rutgers, who took the lead for the first time on the previous possession, back behind and back to the air. Kaliak Manis, and he and KJ Duff are on one in this second half. Duff is putting on a display of his own. For Duff today, 7 shy of the program record. Antoine Raymond. KJ Duff has had 1 catch under 32 yards today, and it was for 19. Raymond fighting his way forward. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Raymond with the carry.
Raymond slips away from one man, but stonewalled by another. And it's 4th down and 2. This is right on the edge of Jay Patel's field goal range. Pressure. And Ben Black makes the catch. A first down conversion. Ben Black getting the opportunity today because of the injury to the star Ian Strong. And that's his second fourth down conversion of the day. And we hit the 2-minute timeout. Purdue once led 10-0 in the first half. Back and forth we've gone here in the second. Ethan Kaliak-Manis finds DT Sheffield, and he bounces his way down for a pickup of 8.5. Raymond, and he gets the first down. That'll stop the clock temporarily at 1:23. Taj White able to get up, and he gets a hand here.
He's had a heck of a game, too. I mean, it's been physical on the edges for both of these teams' tackles.
Now Ethan Kaliak-Manis going to give it to Antoine Raymond.
And that's the right call from Rutgers, and here comes Barrios and pulls a quick timeout.
He keeps, and a jump throw is incomplete at the feet of Kenny Fletcher. And now it's third down. Kaliak-Manis gives it. Antoine Raymond pushing, and he gets stopped, and it's fourth down to try and tie the game. And he does it. Clutch kick from Jay Patel, and we're tied at 24. And they're not going to give him a chance here. Fair catch called for and made by Christian Earls, the tight end.
So there's so much strategy going on here for both head coaches. You want to run the football or no? Or are you trying to see if you can find your way to be aggressive for a field goal?
Ryan Brown batted in the air. He catches it, and then he fumbles it, and it's recovered by Rutgers. Jet Elad recovered it. Oh, you wonder if he would have been better served just knocking it to the ground for an incompletion. So now Rutgers, in a quick turn, is going to give it to Jayshawn Benjamin. Benjamin, both hands on the ball as he gets down to the 20. Kaliak-Manis. Here's Benjamin. And Benjamin gets down to the middle of the field. Jay Patel line up a 31-yarder. Riley McCann will hold it. Michael O'Connor will snap. Patel for the win. And he got it. Rutgers wins the battle. An emotional day ends with the Scarlet Knights picking up their first conference win of the year, and an absolute heartbreaker for Purdue.